about friendship a little bit more. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am going to go and get started. Good evening, everyone. Whatever time you will watch this, maybe you watch it later tonight, maybe you watch it tomorrow, maybe you watch it Monday. But yeah, usually I'm on in Saturday morning at 10:30, but today I had some apple picking thing going on, so I thought, let me try Saturday evening and see how that works. But just want to say hello, Marjorie Barracks here, woman to woman conversations. I started a couple weeks ago talking about friendship. This could go on the whole year, guys. This could go on and on and on and on. But yes, so this week we're going to be talking a little bit about things that kill a friendship and how friendships can help you, you know, like good friends can help you in the dire needs of time, right? When you're in dire need, how friends can come through. And we're going to talk about, we're going to do a little Bible thing going on here. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead. Hi, Dawn. Saw you this morning. Anyway, yes, so one of the things that, you know, we talked about last week was, you know, how we need to be trustworthy, how we need to be able to trust people, to you know, to build friendship, right? And one of the things that I have learned over the years and of lately, this last year, is things that will kill a friendship is don't do business with friends. Don't do business with friends. It will kill it. Because that's when you see people true colors, right? And sometimes people are not mature enough to get up from there. Another one, don't lend or borrow money from friends or to friends. Don't lend friends money, don't borrow money from friends. It could kill the friendship. Because don't do business. Because when you're doing business with your friends, and if they're not mature enough and you can't tell them the truth about how the business is going, they might take it personally, then you end up with a rift. I had this happen to me just of late. The last year it's been like that. Don't do it. It's better to just pay somebody else, get somebody else and pay them the money. Sometimes you want to help this person, you know, with their business, but I have learned the hard way. So just for me, it might work for you, but for me, and you know, as you know, I've heard it said over and over again: don't lend money, don't borrow money. It just doesn't work. I like this. You know, some friendships are superficial. Thank you, Dawn. Don't mix business with pleasure. That is so true, and I had to learn the hard way. And you know what? Going forward, I hope I will do better. Some friendships are superficial, and you usually find that out when things don't go according to their plans, right? So it's going back to mixing business, and then money thing changing hands, lending and borrowing. Is that, you know, you might say to them, but you know, I wanted you to do X, Y, and Z, and they said, well, you can't get X, Y, and Z. Hi, Vicky. You know, you can get X and Y, but I don't know about Z, right? Or, you know, that's not attainable. And sometimes we can agree to disagree. Like, okay, you can say, well, okay, well, you know, but if they're gonna push you on it and tell you things and disrespect you, then you know that was a superficial thing. That wasn't like a deep, intimate thing, because a deep, intimate thing wouldn't even go there, right? So, you know, you have to know where that friendship is. And hi, Elder Andrea, Lady Andrea, good night. You know, you have to know where you are in that relationship to chart that course. I have learned my lesson 3 times already this past year. Don't want to learn that lesson again. I'm moving along. I like the scripture. Proverbs 17:17 says, a true friend loves regardless of situations, and a real brother exists to share the tough times. And this is from the Voice translation. I love that scripture because, you know, there are different translations, but I like this one. The Passion says, a dear friend will love you no matter what, and a family sticks together through all kinds of troubles. And the reason why I brought these 2 scriptures, because something I heard this week, because I'm moving on from the, you know, don't lend, don't borrow, I've learned my lesson. Hope you never had to learn it the way I learned it. Hope it doesn't cost you what it cost me. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Did I say that? Mentally? Yeah, don't do it. I heard a story the other day, and I want to share it with you, but I want to share, you remember that in the scriptures, now I can't point it out to you right now, but in the scriptures where these 4 friends brought their friend to Jesus, and he was sick, he was at home sick, Jesus is out there, they hear Jesus is healing, they said, hey, I gotta take him to Jesus. So the 4 of them took him, brought him to Jesus, ripped the roof off the house, and he, you know, let him down into the house in front of Jesus. And we know the story, Jesus heals and all of that. So I heard this week where this young man, he used to work in the government land development kind of area in Jamaica, and he, you know, worked with people, and he worked well with people. He was a really nice man, and he ended up very ill. He's been very ill, and so last week one of his friends came to visit him and took him to the doctor. Saw the state he was in, maybe he heard that he wasn't well, came and took him to see a doctor. And with that, the doctor says, no, you got to take him to the hospital. His blood pressure is out the roof. You got to take him to the hospital with all this COVID and everything. But he took him to the hospital, and when they got there, they said he was dehydrated, he was malnourished, meaning that whomever was put in charge of this young man, this man, didn't feed him properly, didn't give him, you know, the necessary sustenance of life. Like, that is just cruel. Thank you, Lady Andrea. Luke 5:17-39 talks about the man, the 4 friends. Only this time we have a friend, and this friend, when he left the hospital, he said, we can't take him back to where he was. So he got another friend, and now the 2 friends brought him to another 3rd friend that had a nice home and everything, and brought him there. And she said, he can stay here, I will take care of him. What am I saying? You know, it's been years since they worked together, years. And, you know, all these years later, when he was where it says, a true friend loves regardless of the situation. A real brother exists to share the rough times, the tough times, the difficult times, right? Because they didn't have to do that, right? So when you get to that place where you have this kind of relationship, this kind of friendship, you don't even have to call the person. They will hear, or they will say, let me go see about so and so, let me go see about Marjorie, let me go see about Vicky, you know. And they said, wait a minute, this is not good. Let's get him out of here. Let's take Vicky out of here and bring her somewhere else where she can be nourished, where she can be nurtured, where she can be taken care of. And you know, today I was out picking apples, and we were talking, and my son said to me, look at the trees, you know, because we went to pick apples, and you know, if you saw my videos earlier, it was a disaster. At first, we couldn't find any apples, and all the trees were laden with apples. But when you look at the leaves of the tree, you could tell it was not nurtured, it was not taken care of. And even though it was laden with fruit, you know, you could see where the bugs were coming in the fruit. Even, you know, I took a bite out of one, and then I looked, it was like something in here. You know, why am I saying all of this? Because it's important to be authentic. It's important to be, you know, vulnerable, be honest with people. Because, you know, here it is, I'm looking over there and I'm seeing all these beautiful red apples. So red, I mean, they look like, have you ever seen those pictures with those red apples? That's how it looked. But when I went closer, I realized. And this is what I'm saying, with friendship, you have to be able not just to see all the beauty from the distance. You're supposed to come up close and being able to see for real. And this is why I said this pandemic, as Hi Dimitri, you know, we have to be able to get out from behind these screens and see each other's in their face. Because if that young man had called the other young man on the phone and said, how are you doing? Because I've talked to him, and I'm talking about my brother. And, you know, I could talk to him, and he said, oh, I'm good, man, I'm good, man, I'm good, man, right? And, you know, we would say, oh, he's fine. But when he went past his telephone, his video call or whatever, he went past that, and he physically went to visit him. He physically stood before him, and what he saw was troubling to him, right? And I think that's the thing. When we have true relationship, we have to take the time to be face to face, right? It's something about getting face to face with each other, right? When you look, if I say to you, I'm good, man, you can tell right away, I'm not good. You can tell, you can say, wait a minute, no. Your eyes are telling me something else. Your body language is telling me something else, right? So we have to take the time to move past. Now that the pandemic has given us some breather and we have a little bit more freedom, we don't have all the freedom we had before, but we had some freedom, right? So we can go and we can visit, have a cup of coffee. If you have to stand outside and talk, that's fine. You know, I liken that, you know, all through this pandemic, I have gone, you know, I mean, I live in Hamilton. One of my friends live in Toronto, in Etobicoke. And if I'm down in Etobicoke, I'm gonna call her and said, hey, I'm popping by. And I stand on the porch, 6 feet, and talk. You know, because that's me. I can't stand being behind this, right? I have to be face to face, because something else happens when you're seeing each other face to face. You know, nothing beats, right, being with a friend. Vicky is saying, it's so true. I miss hanging out. You know, I miss going to Panera and having a tea or whatever you're gonna have there. I miss going to lunch. I miss going to dinner. You know, all of those beautiful things that I used to do with friends of mine. You know, and if that doesn't work anymore with those friends, then I have to find myself new friends to do it with, because I can't not do it. You hear what I'm saying? You know, so it's important, because that's how you're going to build. Because when he was working with these men and this lady, he had good relationship. He treated them well. So when he got to this place where he is needing help, you know, they were there. I don't want to be that person that's somewhere alone, lonely, not having anybody to talk to. You know, if I'm ill, I don't have anybody to, you know, to visit with me. You know what I mean? It's like, it seems like that's what it's turning into, this thing where people my age is just drawing the brakes on things, on everything. You know what I mean? While the 30-somethings, they're going out for lunch, they're going away on their spa weekend, they're doing their thing, they're building, they're nurturing. Just like I told you about the apple trees. Well, okay, when by the time I said there's no apples here, and some of you might have seen my video, we kept walking. And as we kept walking, we saw some trees that had some greener leaves, because the other ones didn't look that great. But then when we looked and we started looking at inspecting these apples over here, we could see these were great apples. But we had to go all the way around where there was nothing, or bad apples, or no apples, or very little apples, to come up, to keep walking, keep trying, keep doing it, keep getting into it, right? Like don't stop. If this doesn't work, try that. If that doesn't work, keep trying. Like we said to them, keep walking until you get to that place where you can find some apples. Some sweet, juicy apples that didn't have all those little bumps on them and had those holes in them, and you know, and all of that, right? So I'm not going to be on here long. If you know this, I am not at home. I am out and about, but they graciously allowed me to use their set. So I am going to say goodbye right now, and I hope I said something that would encourage you. You know, stick with those people that are nurturing, that are supportive, that are giving. And I am not going to say dump anybody. I'm just saying move them to another area. You know, because you can say, well, that is not a friend, that is an acquaintance. So you could move them to the acquaintance section, and then you could, you know, you have a friend over here. Next week I'm going to talk about boxes, because I think that sometimes we say, oh, that's my friend for 30 years. And some people say, you know, like, I have a friend since I was in high school, and we don't live in the same town, and we never talk. Once in a while we talk, but when we get together, whenever we see each other, it's like nothing happened. I think that's fine for you, but for me, I need more than that. If you're my friend, I want connection. I want to talk to you. I want to see you. I want to hear you. I want to communicate, right? Because that's what friends do. Because how is it that you're not going to talk to me for a year, right? How is it I don't even know where you live, right? So that's not a friend. That's somebody put over here in the acquaintance box, right? Remember, Jesus had the 70, and then he had the 12, and then he had the 3, Peter, James, and John, that he brought with him certain places. Yeah, you got to do that. Use that. I've been trying that, and I'm convinced that, you know, I am my worst enemy sometimes, right? But I am willing to do the work and keep working and keep walking and keep doing until I get it. So with that being said, I want to bid you farewell. Good night. Have a great evening. Enjoy your day of worship wherever you worship. Tomorrow, if you go in house or if you stay at home and watch it on TV, hey, stay safe, do your thing, be blessed. Thank you so much for joining me. This looks like 8 o'clock in the evening works. I don't know. Let me know what you think about this 8 o'clock in the evening, Saturday evening. how does that work for you? I like it, but let me know. And have a great night. I'm gonna head home shortly thereafter this. God bless you. Stay safe. Keep the faith. Yes, you can do this. Blessings.